players swoop in on it. Oh, here's Winmar from 60 metres. Nicky Winmar kicks. Oh, I think he's goal. The Saints are home. The brilliant Winmar has kicked his first goal of the game.
We all express ourselves in a way we feel represents some emotions revealing aspects of our identity, from hand gestures to facial expressions. On Saturday the 17th of April 1993, 28,350 people attended an Australian Football League match between the St Kilda and Collingwood football clubs at the home of the Collingwood Football Club, Victoria Park. A well-known venue for extremely passionate supporters showing signs of inhospitable behaviour towards supporters and players of the opposing teams. St Kilda went on to win for the first time at the venue since 1976 by 22 points. Two young Aboriginal players from the St Kilda team kicked 6 goals between them and were voted by the umpires as the 2 best players on the field that day. At the end of the game, as the players trudged off the field, an Aboriginal player called Nicky Winmar stopped, looked at the hostile crowd and lifted up his jumper to reveal his torso, pointing to his chest. This striking picture was captured at that very moment and has come to capture the emotions of the game as felt by him. Nicky is a black Aboriginal player in a white-dominated sport. Some might not recognise him as a footballer, but after the incident, they recognise him as an Aboriginal first and foremost. The man is celebrating his difference by showing the colour of his skin. He is the minority. What has the crowd done to lead him to exhibiting his phenotypical features, showing the zone of difference between himself and the hostile supporters who had led him to such actions? This picture engages me as Nicky Winmar is expressing his identity in a way with actions and not words. He is showing pride in his own race. A uniform can identify a culture. His uniform is a football jumper, one which he raises to disclose part of his individual identity, the colour of his skin. Nicky is expressing pride in himself, and the other have taken offence to his actions. Grappling with the prevalence of difference, he seemed to have released an action to exhibit some type of social justice he believed needed to be done. An experience like this can shape a person's identity. This action can be interpreted in so many ways. It is subjective and open to interpretation. Is he just pointing to his stomach as a sign that he is also human, or merely to show that he has guts? I would like to teach this topic under the heading of Expression Session. During the expression sessions, students will discover ways to express their feelings and emotions to show individual traits that may give a clue to their personal identity. How life experiences can shape a person's identity, and how we show pride in our cultures. There are several outcomes I hope to achieve through these expression sessions. Students will learn about other students' cultural differences through actions and discover empathy skills, broadening their knowledge of their classmates' identities. This will empower students with lifelong skills that they can take from the classroom into the greater community and the school environment. Through the tasks I have designed, students will develop empathy and awareness skills which should empower them with knowledge needed to reduce discrimination in the community and at school. They will learn how to see others in a new way. Let's begin remembering that these expression session lessons are designed for primary students in Year 7. During the warm-up, students will brainstorm the questions, what do we celebrate, and how do sports people celebrate and express themselves? The information elicited from the students will be written up on the black or whiteboard. This will be a whole class strategy. Task 1, Celebrity Photographs. The strategy used here is a think, pair, share exercise, where students will work in pairs asking and answering questions. With the use of a visualizer, students will look at photos of identities such as the Wiggles or a politician like Julia Gillard and write down some information, such as what they know about them, what they are celebrating, how they do it and what it could mean, and how do we know they are celebrating. At the end of the task, students will present their work to their classmates. Task 2, Picture Puzzle. This is a whole class strategy with the use of a visualizer and PowerPoint. Students will be shown a picture of Nicky Winmar bit by bit, asking them to write down what they see. Once the picture has been shown in full, students describe what they see and what the gesture may mean. Students are asked what happened before the photo was taken. After the task, students will report their findings back to their classmates and the teacher for discussion. Task 3, List of Rules. This is a small group strategy where students list what may be acceptable rules to follow on the sporting arena. Students will present their findings to their classmates for discussion at the end of the task. Task 4, Speech Bubble Worksheet. This is an individual strategy where students have a picture of Nicky Winmar and need to fill in the speech bubble as they feel appropriate. Students will present their findings at the end of the class for students to discuss. Task 5, Expression Mind Map. This is a small group strategy where students work together to complete a mind map worksheet. Students learn the skills needed to complete a mind map. Students decide on an expression which suits them and complete a mind map detailing when, where, why, who and how. At the end of the task, students will come to the front as a group and share their work with the other classmates for discussion. Task 6, Big TV Game. Students consolidate Task 5 by playing the Big TV Game. Students stand at the front of the class and role-play their expression from Task 5. The remaining students need to elicit information by asking questions as to what the gesture may mean and where it takes place. Task 7, Debate. This task is a small group strategy for higher level students. Students can debate topics depending on the year level. They can debate statements such as, was he right or wrong to do it? Or, is there room for politics on the sports arena? People within their own classroom and also in the wider community have different identities, and that is not something individuals or groups should be made to be ashamed or discriminated because of. Through these tasks, students should realise that we are all different even if you don't think you are, and that we all have something to celebrate. Through the use of this event described earlier, I would hope to offer support to students by acknowledging that yes, individuals are different, celebrating life differently in diverse ways. Acknowledging it, we accept it, though we may do something differently. This will send a message that the school community does not tolerate discrimination, a time to reinforce and review existing policies at the school.